The first chord we're going to work on is an E major chord. And we're going to get into why it's called a major chord versus a minor chord or whatever in later lessons. Right now we want to get you playing. So take what you know so far and let's get started on that chord. First we're going to take our third finger, we're going to place it on the second fret on the A string or fifth string. Then we're going to take our fourth finger, we're going to place it on the D string or fourth string. Then we're going to take our second finger and we're going to place it on the first fret on the G string. And then go ahead and strum down using your pick. You have your E chord. Let's do that one more time. You've got your third finger on your A string, second fret, your fourth finger on your D string, second fret, and you've got your second finger on your G string, first fret, and you're going to strum all of the strings. There's your E chord. Now if you look at the diagram that's included in the supplemental materials, you'll see a list of the string names, and the strings go from the first one being your high E string or your first string, and then they go this way, they go lower. You're going to see an E and then a colon and then a 0. What that means is that you're not fretting a note on that string, but you are playing it whenever you see a 0. If you go down that list to your G string, you're going to notice you have your G, a colon, and then a 1. That's basically telling you that you want to play first fret on your G string. The next number over after the dash is the finger number. So that's how you read those diagrams. And there are a lot of different ways to read chord diagrams. In later lessons we'll be getting into different ways to look at that, but for right now this is a good easy way to go back and remember how to play the chord. When you're first learning chords, I found it really helpful to do what I've started to call chord push-ups, although they're not really a push-up. But basically what you're doing is you're getting your hand in position, you're strumming the chord, you're making sure it's clean, and then you take your hand off, shake it out, get your hand in position again, strum, and make sure it's clean. And when you're first learning these chords, it's totally fine to do that, 20, 30 times. Because what you might find is that as you're fretting these chords or these notes, you've got these strings that aren't quite in the right places, and maybe you're deadening some strings, or you have a finger in the wrong place, or whatever. And doing this just continually reminds your brain and your muscles, trains you to start playing those correctly. A note about your thumb: when you're starting to play this chord, and really any chord, do not let your thumb come up over the neck. I'm able to make it work, but I've been playing guitar for 14 years. When you're starting, and this is a review from the last lesson, but you want the joint of your thumb to be right on the hump of the neck. That's going to give you the most leverage to play this thing correctly, give you the most strength. And you also want to make sure that your thumb isn't too far over either side. If you're going to lay your fingers out like this, you want your thumb to always be directly between your first finger and your second finger behind the neck. And that just gives you a lot of strength. So again, here's your E chord. Let's move to the A chord in just a second.